Somewhere around the age of 17, your body tried to grow 4 teeth it had no room for. You probably remember it. The dull ache at the back of your jaw, maybe the swelling, the dentist's x-ray, the surgery. 4 teeth pulled out before they ever did a single thing for you. And here's the strange part. Almost everyone goes through this. It's so common we treat it as normal, a routine rite of passage. But stop and think about how odd that actually is. Your body spent years building teeth that don't fit in your own mouth. Teeth that, for most people, cause nothing but problems and then get removed. So why do you have them at all? The answer isn't a mistake. Those teeth aren't a flaw in your design. They're a message, left in your jaw by ancestors who needed them desperately, sent across hundreds of thousands of years to a mouth that no longer has space. Let's talk about why you have wisdom teeth you don't need. Start with what these teeth actually are. Your wisdom teeth are your 3rd molars, the very back set, one in each corner. And for almost the entire history of the human lineage, that 3rd set of molars was essential equipment. Your distant ancestors did not eat the way you eat. There was no cooking at first. No soft bread, no boiled vegetables, no anything processed. Early human ancestors survived on raw, tough, fibrous food. Hard roots, uncooked tubers, raw plant matter, fibrous stems, seeds, and tough meat. Food that fought back. Food that demanded hours of grinding every single day. To process that diet, your ancestors needed serious chewing power. And so they had big jaws, far more robust than yours, with room for a full set of 3 molars on each side. Going back further, ancestors like the Australopithecines had enormous, flat molars coated in thick enamel, built specifically for crushing hard, abrasive food. The 3rd molar wasn't a spare. It was a workhorse, sharing the load of a job that never stopped. For millions of years, this worked perfectly. The teeth matched the jaw matched the food matched the life, and then the food changed. The first shift came with fire. Cooking softens food. It does some of the chewing for you before the food ever reaches your mouth. Suddenly, the jaw had less work to do. But the real transformation came later, with agriculture. As humans began to farm, they introduced processed grains and softer, easier foods. Each generation chewed less forcefully and less often than the one before it. And here's where it gets surprising. Researcher Noreen von Kramen-Taubadel and others studying populations around the world have found that the shift to farming lines up almost exactly with a change in the human jaw. At the University of Kent and beyond, paleobiologists examining ancient skeletons have noticed something striking. From the moment humans moved from foraging to agriculture, dental crowding starts showing up in the record. Crooked teeth, crowded jaws, teeth with nowhere to go. The jaw was shrinking. Now, you might assume this is slow genetic evolution, the kind that takes hundreds of thousands of years. But that's the twist. In a study out of Stanford, researchers argued that the speed of this change, especially over just the last few centuries, is far too fast to be driven by genes alone. So what's actually happening? Your jaw is not a fixed, pre-programmed shape. It's bone, and bone responds to how hard it's used. Jaw bones grow in response to the mechanical forces placed on them during childhood. Chew tough food as a child, and the jaw develops toward its full potential size. Chew soft, processed food, and it doesn't. Animal studies confirm this directly. Rats raised on soft diets grow smaller jaws with less bone, and switching them to harder food can actually reverse some of that loss. Read that again, because it's the heart of this whole story. Your jaw is partly the product of what you chewed growing up. A modern childhood of soft bread, smoothies, pasta, and processed food builds a smaller jaw than your ancestors ever had. The teeth, meanwhile, still come in at the same size, programmed by an older blueprint. So you end up with the same number of teeth your ancestors had, trying to fit into a mouth that has quietly become too small for them. One anthropologist described the way teeth erupt as being almost like a zipper. The jaw moves forward and makes room for each tooth to come through in sequence. But when the jaw runs out of space, the last teeth in line, the third molars, your wisdom teeth, have nowhere to go. They get blocked, trapped under bone, wedged against the tooth in front, pushing sideways, impacted. This is why roughly 80% of young adults today have at least one wisdom tooth that never properly erupts, not because the teeth are broken, because the room ran out. And this problem is older than you might think. The oldest known case of impacted wisdom teeth dates back around 15,000 years, to a jaw in what is now Western Europe. But it stayed relatively rare for most of human history, and then became common, almost universal, in the age of soft, industrialized food. The further we got from the diet that built our jaws, the worse the fit became, which is the quietly remarkable thing about the ache you felt at 17. It wasn't a malfunction. It was a collision between two different time scales, ancient teeth meeting a modern jaw, in a mouth shaped by a life your ancestors would not recognize. Evolution hasn't caught up. It's working on it. Some people are already born without wisdom teeth at all. Genetic variants that appeared thousands of years ago, quietly spreading because, in a world of shrinking jaws, having fewer teeth was an advantage. Over a long enough span, your distant descendants may not grow them at all. But you did. Your mouth still follows the old instructions. It still builds the full set, still reserves the slot for a third molar, still prepares for a lifetime of grinding tough food that for you never came. So the teeth came in, and there was no room, because somewhere along the way the food got soft and the jaw got small, but the blueprint stayed exactly the same. You grew 4 teeth you didn't need. Your ancestors grew the same 4, and couldn't have survived without them. The teeth never changed. It was everything around them that did.